By your grace that I live. It's a lovely afternoon, Thursday, the 13th of January 2022. As we enter a brand new day, a brand new month, and a brand new year, we deserve to give glorification to the Almighty God for His mercies, which endures in us forever, including you and me. We are alive today. Today, like I did say to you earlier, we have Diaspora Insurance. They are going to give us tips as to how we can do an insurance policy that covers so many things, including funeral expenses. The expert himself is on the other side, so I'm privileged to have him on the other side for a quick chit chat for the next 20 minutes right here on the Draft Time Show for today, Thursday, the 13th of January 2022. So without much ado, let me welcome my special guest today. Good afternoon, Dr. Sibert. Good afternoon, Dr. Sibert.
Hi, darling. How are you? I didn't realize I was muted.
Sorry. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Yourself?
I'm not doing too bad. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, man.
It's my
Christmas and the New Year.
Yeah, it's my first time being on a hot seat to grant you this interview. I'm much privileged to have you today.
Good.
Yeah. Right. So when we talk about Diaspora Insurance, could you tell us what Diaspora Insurance is all about?
Yeah, thank you very much, darling, for having us. First of all, I just want to wish our listeners a happy New Year.
Thank you.
And prosperous 2022.
Thank you.
So we're sitting down here to talk about real life matters. Since it's a new year, so we want people to plan ahead and take responsibility.
Sure.
So we are Diaspora Insurance. We are a specialist insurance company that designs, markets and distributes insurance products targeted at foreign nationals, particularly people from Africa who live in foreign countries like UK, US, Canada, and Europe. And our household product is called Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. It's a unique product that pays out cash in the unfortunate event that someone who lives in the diaspora passes away. So it's designed to pay out expenses, basically, that will enable the insured to cover expenses associated with end-of-life including repatriation back home if you need to, or you can also cover loved ones back home. Let's say you live here in the UK and you got loved ones in Ghana, or whichever part of Africa you come from. And in the unfortunate event that they pass away, we pay out cash up to £20,000 or 20,000 US dollars, depending on where you live. So you can cover all expenses associated with the funeral. So we are headquartered in the UK, in Birmingham, and we also have got an office in South Africa. So our UK office supports markets in the UK, Europe, USA, and Canada. And our South African office caters for clients in South Africa.
All right, let me check it quickly. Let's say those of you are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, if you got any question at all, just post it on the wall and I'll be reading it for Dr. Sibert to give an answer. And for those of you also listening to us on the radio, our text or WhatsApp number is 0778 793 9958. That's 0778 793 9958. Alternatively, you can give us a call on 0203 735 8820. 0203 735 8820. These are the numbers you can also join in the conversation as we talk about Diaspora Insurance. So I've got a question, Dr. Sibert. So,
Yes.
for example, if I'm here and my parents are in Ghana, for example, and I do this insurance, and if, let's say, my mom or my dad, any of my relatives passes on, is it going to cost? Do I claim? Do I have a claim?
Yes. Maybe let me just first of all try to explain how the product works.
Okay.
So you can understand the claim process. So the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, which is a product of Diaspora Insurance, is specifically designed for people in the diaspora like you and me.
Yep.
So that, because 90 to 95% of chances is that someone like you and me, if they pass away, you want to be laid at rest home, in Ghana, Kenya, Zimbabwe, or South Africa. But most of the times, people don't have enough money to do the repatriation. Probably a repatriation to Africa may cost up to £15,000 or £10,000, depending on where you come from. So you don't have people having enough money to fund that kind of expense. So people end up begging money from
relatives,
friends, churches, GoFundMe platforms, and so forth. So we've designed this so that people can cover themselves. But because you know that in the African setup, someone in the diaspora ends up looking after the entire village back home. So if there is a funeral back home, it also becomes your responsibility. Not only would you want to travel to attend the funeral, but sometimes you have to fund the whole funeral. So what we have decided to do with the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan is not only allow a diasporan here in the UK or USA to cover themselves and their family in the diaspora, but also to extend that cover to their family members back home, because it is your responsibility. Okay. So this is actually a unique feature of our product, which differentiates itself from other local providers. Because if you take an insurance cover from a local UK insurance company like Aviva or Prudential, you can't cover your mother or your relative back home in Ghana. Yeah. But we allow our members to cover family members.
How could that be possible? Because somebody who lives in Ghana has got nothing to do with UK. How can that be possible?
Yeah, it is possible because we're an international company. We got global operations. Okay. And it's a unique feature because we specialize in the diaspora market, which is quite different from the your normal market, or what we can call the retail market of the UK or insurance market sector, which is catered for by local insurers, because they can only take risk which is territorial, but out of territorial risk they can't take that because of restrictions that are placed on by the owners of the insurance companies. But for us, we service a unique market. We've seen that our clients have got different needs from the local UK consumer because we as diasporans, we exist in two markets or two countries, as to say. You live here in the UK, but also part of your life is back home in Ghana. So we want to take care of both parts of our existence as diasporans, which is which cannot be catered for by local products.
Okay.
Is back home in Ghana.
Okay.
So we want to take care of both parts of our existence as diasporans, which is which cannot be catered for by local products.
Okay. Okay.
Is back home in Ghana.
Okay.
So we want to take care of both parts of our.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Sibert. Let me also ask you, can you explain further how you talk about funeral cash plan? How does it actually work? If you can throw more light to it.
Yeah, like I explained before, this product is called Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. So the way it's designed is that it pays out cash when someone makes a claim. It's designed as a guaranteed acceptance policy where we don't do medicals on application. So we don't ask anyone any medical questions when they apply.
Okay.
It's structured as a whole of life cover. When you are on the cover, you covered for life, and we pay cash for very specific reasons. Because what you want if you are faced with a funeral, in your family, is cash. Because that cash gives you a lot of flexibility. You can decide to do repatriation if you want to, or if you not decide not to do repatriation in some stage, is that you can use that cash to get services from your local providers. So that's why we've designed it as a cash cover rather than to do the actual services of repatriation, of providing goods like a casket or a hearse, or organize the actual funeral. So we give cash to families so that they can decide what they want to do with the money. And the other good thing about the product is, like I explained before, is that it allows members to cover not only themselves, but their family members back home in Africa. And this product is called Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan because it's targeted at Africans who live in the diaspora, and it's a cash cover for reasons I've mentioned. That is that cash gives you a lot of flexibility, because today maybe you are living in the UK with your family. Maybe in the next few years you find yourself relocating to Ghana or Kenya or Zimbabwe or South Africa, where you come from. So you want a cover that works wherever you are. You can also relocate to USA and you still remain covered on the same policy. Remember when I mentioned about local insurers, once you move out of your local area or your country, where you live in, where you are insured, like if you go out of the UK, for example, and maybe live in Australia, once you do that, you're no longer covered on that insurance product.
Okay.
But our product is an international product, so you can relocate to any part of the world. As long as you continue paying your premiums, you remain covered. Whether you relocate to your country of origin, you remain covered. So it's a unique product which gives a lot of benefits, which cannot be afforded or be given by the local insurers.
Okay, so you keep talking about cash cover. Why do a cash cover and not the actual repatriation or provide services like burial? Yes.
So traditionally, most funeral insurance has been structured as goods and services, where a provider will provide things like the actual burial, or if you find providers that provide services like repatriation to any country, that's how it's been structured. But for what we have seen and from our research is that a diaspora is not fixed in one place. And these type of products do not work for diasporans like you and me. You want something that gives you flexibility, because one moment you can think of, if you take a policy now, you can think of, say, maybe if I pass away, I might want to be repatriated to Ghana. But let's fast forward maybe 10 years, 15 years down the line. that decision may not hold true because of changes in the circumstance. Maybe your children are all grown up. Maybe you no longer have strong ties to Ghana. So there won't be any reason why you should be repatriated to Ghana in the eventuality of you passing away. So here now becomes your home. So if anything happens to you, you want to be laid to rest here in the UK. So what works in that situation is a product or a product that is flexible. So the only product that is flexible in this situation is cash. So cash gives you that flexibility because you can just walk to any provider and pay for those services, whether it's repatriation or it's burial locally. So that's why this is why we've designed it as a cash cover. And also the fact that you can migrate or relocate to any part of the country, part of the world, and still remain covered on a cash cover. So those are the strong reasons why we've decided to give cash instead of providing services or do the actual repatriation, because we want to give our clients flexibility. And the only thing that can give flexibility is cash. And also the fact that when there's a funeral, there are also other associated expenses. You're not just talking about repatriation or the actual burial. You can talk about organizing a memorial service. You need to buy things like flowers, and also maybe even when there's repatriation, your family members, they also need to fly away and to accompany the body. So you need to pay air tickets. So cash is the only thing thing that can give you that flexibility. And also remember when I said when you have family members back home in Ghana that are insured on the same product. So if they pass away, there's no need for you to beg money to actually attend their funeral. When we pay out your claim, you can use part of the money to buy an air ticket and then you can attend the funeral. So that can only be done because you got cash. So cash is actually king, as we say, at Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. And that's why we give our clients a cash cover, which covers all possible scenarios that you can think of.
Talking about, let me take you back a bit. Talking about the premium, is it fixed premium or you can pay as much as you can, depend on how much you're going to claim?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So our premium is fixed. So once you do a quotation on application, that premium is fixed for life. There are only two things that will determine your premium and how much you pay per month. So that's your age and also your cover amount. So the more the more I can say the higher the cover amount, then the higher the premium that you pay per month.
Okay.
Also, and if slightly older, the premium goes up slightly higher. But when you are quoted and you get your policy now, it remains fixed for the rest of the life of your policy.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one funny question. I don't mind. If one's status, immigration status is not too good, is that person entitled to insure?
Yeah, we don't.
Because if your immigration status is not stable,
we don't ask you about. That's the thing. We don't ask you about your status. All we need to know is whether you're from Ghana or not.
Regardless, so long as you can prove that.
All we need to know, and then we'll give you a policy and just pay your premiums. That's all. We are happy.
You might ask, your passport, what is your status here, blah, blah, blah. And
we don't ask all that. The only two things that we ask you is your name, your age. So three things: name, age, and your country of origin. That's all we need.
Yeah, because
we don't even ask you your medical history to say, are you diabetic or do you have high blood pressure or any other medical questions or intrusive questions. We don't ask all that. It's what you call a guaranteed acceptance. So once you tick all the just one box, are you from Ghana? If you tick that box, then you certainly qualify for the cover. So there's nothing as easy as getting a Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
Good, excellent. I'm interested myself. So let me also ask you. Most of us know about, from the way we step into this, we know about life insurance, life assurance, and life insurance, and those kind of things. And this one is quite different. That's Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. If one have a life cover or life insurance, does that that person actually need this Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan?
Yes, that's a very good question. And a lot of our clients tell us or ask us that whether they need a funeral cover like ours, if they have a life cover. So what we need to understand is that these two products, they cover two different risks.
Okay.
So a life cover is like right now you're at work and also I'm at work. So we get income, and in the unfortunate event that if I pass away, that income stops.
Yeah.
So it means that my family will not have any income.
Support. Yeah.
So what a life cover does is that it pays off when someone passes away. It's a lump sum that replaces your income. But in terms of a life cover, how it's processed in terms of applications, that there's a lot of underwriting or medical underwriting that takes place. So they want to make sure they ask you a lot of medical questions. They can even ask you to do some medical tests, get a report from your GP, and you have to make a disclosure of so many, whether you've got a significant medical history. So those things will affect your premium. So if you don't disclose those, sometimes it's going to affect the claim process. So when you make a claim, they need to check the cause of death. They need to dig into your medical history and so forth and so forth. And also to, because it's a huge sum of money, it will take a long time for them to process that claim. So that means that your life cover, the payout is going to be delayed probably by 2-3 months.
Okay.
But what you need is when you have a funeral, is the immediacy in terms of payout. Yeah. So this is where the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan comes in. Our product is not medically underwritten, which means that the application process is very straightforward. Because our application process is very straightforward, it means that our claim process also is very straightforward and easy. When you make a claim on the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, once we receive the requisite documents, within 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours actually, you have your money paid out into your account. So that's how quick and our turnaround is when it comes to processing claims. So what we tell our clients is that you need both a life cover and a funeral cover. A life cover also, it expires for most of them that are underwritten in the UK. If you take a life cover now, they tell you, okay, after about when you turn 65 or 70, you're no longer covered. So it means that the rest of your life you don't have a life cover. But for our funeral cover, where you are covered for life. Once you get your funeral cover, you are guaranteed to have a free cover for the rest of your life once you reach certain milestones on the policy. So those are the key differences that you have between a life cover and a funeral cover. All right. But what you need is that you have to have both because they cover different risks.
All right. I don't want to put you in a tight corner, but I love asking funny questions in terms of interviews like this kind. Most Africans, most of us are Christians, and normally we get support from our churches, from our pastors in the event of in any eventuality, we get support from churches. And there's this GoFundMe thing that, whenever something happens to you, just set it out and people support you. So if one is thinking, okay, I belong to a church where my church members will support me in the event of any disaster or any accident or any death, my church will support me. Likewise, I can set up a GoFundMe thing to get people globally to support it. So you as an expert, insurance expert, do you think does it conflict with what you are selling now?
Yeah, so
your view.
Yeah, that's something very interesting about people seeking support from
churches,
organizations like churches or associations or groups and so forth. So we tend to live in communities. So people want to view our communities as a safety net when things go wrong. But that's not the best way of managing risks, because sometimes that safety net is not going to work. It can get to a point where the system gets overwhelmed because of maybe people seeking for help from the church or from friends on GoFundMe. So it's not a sustainable way of managing something predictable that is not predictable, but that it will eventually happen. Everyone that has been created by God at some stage will pass away. So what we need to do is to make sure we plan ahead for that eventuality. And the best way to plan is to take a funeral insurance, which is structured properly and which is insured by a proper insurance company that is guaranteed to make a payout. And that way we can guarantee our families a peace of mind and guarantee our families a dignified send-off. Because sometimes when you rely on such unorthodox methods of managing risk, like relying on churches and GoFundMe platforms, is that it's not very easy. It's not easy to get to reach your target when you're fundraising through those platforms. So it ends up being like an undignified for your families. It causes a lot of stress for your family, and you don't want to be remembered as someone who, when they passed away, the only thing they did was that the family went on GoFundMe. Yet you had the opportunity to put your things in order by taking a funeral insurance and making sure that yourself and your family are protected and covered. So let's not use churches to cover our risks, but let's use churches as places where we go and worship and fellowship, and the monies that we pay in our tithes need to support the work of God, not to cover our funeral expenses. Yet we have products like the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan underwritten by properly constituted insurance companies like Diaspora Insurance. For the record, we've been in existence for more than 10 years, so we've got a track record of servicing our market, and we're here to serve our clients. We're here to meet their needs and their expectations. So we encourage our clients to come forward, take the policy, and let's go to church to fellowship. Let's go to church to work to fellowship and spread the word of God. Not to go to church because we want
something
to help people to help us once we have the unfortunate.
Funny enough, people go to church for that purpose.
Sorry?
Funny enough, some people go to church for that purpose. Just to
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's not the purpose for going to church, so that people can help you with your funeral expenses. We go to church to fellowship and to worship our Lord, not for it to be as an association or as a backup for people when they get into trouble. So we can't rely on such unorthodox means. Yeah. These are things that used to be used by people in societies where we don't have structured products like the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
All right, moving forward, it's 14 minutes after 4 o'clock. If you just join us, this is a conversation between myself and Diaspora Insurance, one of the directors, Dr. Sibert. We are having a chat about Diaspora Insurance Cash Plan. So if you just join us, that's what it is. If you got any questions, you can WhatsApp me on 0778 793 9958. For those of you watching us on Facebook, thank you for joining us here. And you can also write on our Facebook wall any concerns, any issues, anything. Dr. Sibert is an expert and he's more than happy to answer your questions. And funny enough, is a good thing. Just listen to it. Basically, this kind of program is strictly English. I got some people, can he speak in Chi? Just a Ghanaian? I don't know. No comments. Maybe I might not use my words right. Somebody says I might be insulting them. This is simple English. I don't know any difficulty in this. Yes, we are not equal. Probably you might not understand English, but you call me. If you have concern, call me, and I will be able to do his work. I will be able to. So that Sibert, for the sake of my Ghanaian people who don't understand English, I'll work on your behalf. When they call me, I'll be able to, explain everything as you explaining to me or explaining to us here to them, because I've got text messages. Instead of bringing their question, they want it in Chi. Probably they can also call in and add ask their question. But we are in England. Sorry, people, I mean, let's be realistic. When we go to our various workplaces, we speak English. And for the English that we are speaking, I'm not an English person, I'm an African, but I'm managing to speak English. Likewise, you can also manage. So let's all manage and speak simple English. This is basic. This is not something that this is not Oxford or, English or whatever, but this is a simple everyday English. So please, let's please, for the sake of you, I'm not being funny. I can understand. Some people don't understand the word of English, but it's unfortunate we can't transmit in Chi. This is strictly English. So just bear with us. For those of you, but you, when you wrote to me, you wrote in English. So if you tell me you don't understand English, then I don't get it, because when you are sending me the text, it's in English. I don't want to mention names, but so let's bear with it. And this is a global station, so it's not only Ghanaian. We have our Zimbabwe brothers, South Africa, everybody, West Africa, everyone, Nigerians. So let's try to adapt to this concept of speaking common English on our platform. At least it will help all of us, okay? So don't get annoyed. This is my explanation to you saying, why can't we speak in Ichi and all that, blah, blah. Sorry about that. We can't. And 2022, anyway, we're going to change most of our program to the cosmopolitan style. We don't want to be, we don't want to stay too more Ghanaian. We're going to expand our tentacles for the sake of our other brothers, our African brothers, and even our fellow nationals, other nationals like the white, the Asians, the African, the Caribbean, and everybody. So that's why it is. Let's move on. So if someone intends to join or to buy your product, is there any queue, any kind of process that will take a long time?
No, joining is very easy. Our application process is very straightforward. Like I mentioned before, our product is a guaranteed acceptance, so we don't ask any of your medical history, whether you suffer from any medical condition. We don't even want to know about your height, your weight, or your blood pressure, or your BMI, or your habits, whether you smoke or not. All we want to know is your name, your date of birth, and that's it. And then we apply. You can apply for yourself, add your family members who are here in the UK, and also whether they are in Ghana, Kenya, or Uganda, or wherever they are.
So if I understand you correctly, regardless of any pre-existing medical condition, one is qualified to join. Is that correct?
That's correct. We don't exclude people based on their pre-existing medical conditions. Oh, this complex word. Pre-existing medical conditions. And it doesn't affect your premiums. So whether you suffer from, whether you got cancer, high blood pressure, or diabetes, that doesn't affect your premiums. This is unlike a life cover, where your pre-existing medical conditions can either exclude you, or if you're accepted on higher premiums. In our situation, we don't do that. It's what we call a guaranteed acceptance underwriting. Okay.
So what about the claim process? How long does it also take?
The claim process is very straightforward. What we want to achieve with our claim process is to have families get that financial intervention immediately. So when you lose someone, what you don't want is a prolonged claim process, because there are a lot of things that to consider. If you're considering to do repatriation, you need to liaise with airlines, you need to liaise with immigration office and so forth. And you need to, there are a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork that needs to be processed, and all these things require money. So the last thing you want to do is to stress about money. So our claims process is very simple. Once you've provided all the required documents that include proof of death, IDs of the deceased and the person who's making the claim, the bank details, and once we've verified the death, we promise to process and pay the claim within 24 hours of submitting those documents. But in reality, within 2 hours or 4 hours of providing all those documents, usually we make a payout into a beneficiary's account. So we are very efficient, and
Okay.
all our clients have been impressed by how we respond to claims. So our claim process is one of the key selling points where we meet our clients' expectations or exceed our clients' expectations. Even on holidays like Christmas, we process claims. Our office is not closed. On a Sunday night, we process claims and pay them out.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have any time where we say we are closed, we're not processing any claims. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Wow.
So our claims process is second to none.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So I might call you myself after the show.
Yes, let's sit down and talk about your insurance, darling.
So there's a few questions that's running in my head I want to ask, but it looks like the questions I wanted to ask you've already explained them. So there's no point. Like when I do that, it will be rhetorical. So what I want to ask you is, how long has the company been existed, and what is your record like with settlement of claims worldwide? Because you are a global company. Tell us some of the experience you've gone through.
So Diaspora Insurance has been in existence. This is now our 10th year operating as an insurance company. In fact, we are celebrating our 10th anniversary in April, so you are welcome to attend our 10th anniversary.
Definitely.
But you, darling.
I mean.
So that we can celebrate our success and how we have been serving our market consistently and providing the best service to our clients.
Okay.
In terms of our reputation, in terms of paying claims, we've been very consistent and very efficient in paying out claims. We've paid more than, I think up to date, more than $3 million of claims to our clients. Like I mentioned, we are a global company, so we process claims here in the UK, Australia, Canada, USA, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Malawi. So we our footprint is widespread.
Excellent.
And we're looking forward to further growth in this year.
Right. When it comes to insurance, my last question actually is 4:24. My last question actually fits in the time that we want to wrap up here. We know about this bogus company when it comes to insurance. Sorry, don't get me wrong. We have most companies coming in and they just disappear and blah, blah, blah. How do I get my peace of mind as a person that I'm dealing with a genuine company? We have so many sorts of bogus companies that have disappeared with people's investment. I'm not saying your one is one. You as an insurance expert, what's your take on that before we bring the curtain down?
Yes, Diaspora Insurance, like I said, we are registered in the UK. We're headquartered in the UK. We've got our offices in Birmingham.
Good.
We've been operating for the past 10 years.
Okay.
We've been growing from strength to strength. We cover at least 13 nationalities, 13 African nationalities. Okay. That speaks volumes of our reach. We also have got offices in South Africa that do exactly the same thing. Here in the UK, we are authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Okay.
It is the organization that regulates all financial institutions, like the big banks, the insurance companies, investment firms. So by being authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, it speaks volumes of our commitment to treating our customers fairly and providing the best service to our clients. It shows that we are not a fly-by-night company that is here today and tomorrow they are gone, they disappeared.
We'll call it cowboy business.
You can't trust them. You want to make a claim, they are not there to be found.
Okay.
We are also reinsured ourselves by one of the biggest reinsurance companies.
Okay.
So it's not just that we operate alone, but we got a big insurance company that sits behind us.
Great.
So that's the good thing about insurance companies. So when you take a policy with an insurance company like ours, you're guaranteed that your claims will be paid. The money are not going to run out. Unlike when you rely on a burial society or a church association, because monies can run out. Yeah. But in our situation, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
So those are key points that show you or give you that peace of mind that you're not dealing with a flight night by a company that's here today, tomorrow that they've disappeared.
Okay.
So we are here for the long haul. We are committed to service our clients. We are here to service our market. Good. And we are committed to our market and to our clients.
Okay.
So this is who we are.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much. And for the first time hosting, I'm quite happy. And I've got a vivid understanding of the whole concept, which I promise. And it's not like the next time we meet here, you can tell that, yes, I've bought one. I'm going to buy one. It's good. It sounds good. And now, like I said, maybe we talk business later because I've got a few calls on my I know they want to ask something, but they forget that I'm the one hosting the show. I can't answer my private phone to listen to them and then come and explain. so I'll sell out for you in our local language. That's probably it also will reach the Ghanaian community very well. We are so biased when it comes to local, Africa. It comes to our local languages. We are more comfortable with our own language than someone's language.
That's understandable. Maybe I need to learn some Ghanaian. Can teach me some Ghanaian. So next time I come on the show, I'll be speaking in your local language.
I'll be explaining to a couple of people, and once they grip the understanding, obviously you get more market from there. Like I myself, I've set the pace by come and buy one. I think it's good. Yeah. Although I've got life insurance and all that, but this is something good. It sounds good. So thank you very much for this educative program that you are actually offering on our platform. We are more grateful. And hopefully next week, same time, or probably not, next week, because we're doing it on a different time. For those of you who are listening for the first time, this is a very educative program. When I say educate, it's giving us a knowledge, telling us there are so many things we don't know. So when we get people like this coming on this radio station, giving us education, is good. It helps you, it helps me, it helps all of us. So do tune in next week. It's not going to be the same time. We are ending the week this week. So next week, Monday to Friday. So watch out for another session of this exclusive interview from Diaspora Insurance with one of their directors, which is Dr. Sibert. They go out their team. So if not him tomorrow or another day, it's someone else. So don't get twisted. So, Doctor, thank you for your time and have the best of the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, darling. Yeah, so those who are interested, want know more about our product, go to our website, www.diasporainsurance.com.
Yeah, I nearly missed that. I beg your pardon. I nearly missed that. So for those of you, if you want more information, just visit their website, www.diasporainsurance.com for a quote. Alternatively, if you want to call them, this is the number, 0770 3838304. The 3838 is 2. 0770 3838304. And I think that will help. So just go to their website, www.diasporainsurance.com. Simple as that. And you are there. Thank you so much for Facebook viewers. You've done well. I like the viewership. So hope, Doctor, we meet again next week.
Thank you very much. All right. Have a good week.
And you too.
Everyone, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Yes, we'll be talking to Dr. Sibert of Diaspora Insurance.
At first in horses, but I trust the one true God, the one who holds and molds my life. Some trust in chariots.
About Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
One true God, the one who holds and molds my life.
I believe you got something out of this. Check over the time, 31 minutes past 4 o'clock. My name is Darling J. Radia ye.
Unyani panyen sechin sayem.
Onunkuto no betumi aye. Nipen to me ye. And I need deeper bit to me aye no Radia. No aye nina.
All power belongs to you.
Yeah, from me J.
Answer by fire. This prayer. Unyani pan.
Some rea copim sen on Siabeboro. Medenyuma jo tata. Esan say me hu shada emfa me papentino. Ebeya nyum kwa. Let's talk, okay? More music, let's talk. I'm just going to entertain with some music. Say me you know how about you need the ahoden wo ho. Mo am frafra you bet we dey come with you ai.
Nyami ba onye ni panyen se chisaya memfa ma desrem ma wani ma woni ni ramota enti erade ya wache ni bio yesu ya wache ni bio sakrare mu ma yesu ya nyami ba onye ni panyen se chisaya menti memfa ma desrem ma wani ma woni ni ramota Osunya sase
You are listening to GN Radio.
Sorry, Eradi way na want to mean ya. Nyami ba, unyani panyan sechin sayam. Mimfa ma desrem ma wenim, ma wuni mi ramoda. Utu mi adyengi na yo.